Well, hello there guys, and welcome to some more Scourge of War Waterloo. I know you guys have been desperate to see some more of this game, and I'm going to bring you a battle today on the core level. This is a major level. As you can see here, we've got to begin our attack on the enemy left. Now, all of our officers are basically stuck on take charge from AI, which essentially lets the artificial intelligence control some of our men. I'm going to allow that for now. For the most part, we can move our men forward just by using this method, of course, moving our general forward. And once we move our general forward, we essentially dictate, wrong general, where we want the rest of the army. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward here. And I am actually going to make sure that we just have lines. So we'll start moving here. We'll move this main army as well. And we also have control over numerous artillery units. So let's try to make that happen too. What are we doing wrong here? Come on. We can do this, boys. There we go. And this is just going to be the main part of the army. We, of course, have to move these individual brigades, and we'll go ahead and do that. So first of all, I want these guys to move up just in line, regular line formation to get up to the point, and eventually we will break them apart. I'm also concerned that the enemy could be hiding in this location, so I'm going to move this infantry unit that way. And as you can see, already we've got some cannon fire. We also want to take control of our cannons because we have a very powerful line of cannons here, and if we can actually use these properly, we're going to be in a really good position against the enemy. So the great Emperor Napoleon has given us these cannons to use, and we want to go ahead and move them up here. Excuse me, guys. And essentially put them in a better position, a little closer to the enemy front line. I actually want to turn them a bit more like that, and let's hope that the enemy's not hiding any troops in this area. Although, as we can see, we already see some enemy troops here. So we're going to go over there and hit their left, of course, with this unit, this grouping of units. And we still have more. We still got more cannons over there, although I don't really feel comfortable moving them yet. We've also got more infantry units over here. As you can see, this is what it's like to lead a corps. It's pretty intense. And I think first thing I'm going to do is get these guys up here near the cornfield, as it were. We are controlling so many different armies. It's really hard to do this properly. But I'm going to go ahead, move our guys up. We could actually start moving the cannons up too. But I don't want to mess too much with them. Let's get the cannons over here in the field. And we'll keep them in their regular position. And let's hope we don't come across any enemy troops before we get there. Right now, you can actually see that the enemy is over there. Most of their troops are laying down. They know exactly what this line of cannons means for them, and it's not pretty. So we want to get those guys closer. And we also want to launch our attacks with these units over here. Let's grab this guy. We've got a munitions truck, or not a truck, but a munitions carriage behind us, and we'll eventually get there too. But for now, we're not too concerned about it. Once again, I'm moving in a line. I very rarely move in any other formation unless I think I'm going to be facing cavalry, which right now I really don't think I'm going to be facing. I don't think the enemy has that many men, and I think we can probably withstand it. And I'm actually going to take this unit of infantry, and I'm going to put them behind over here as a sort of reserve unit, just in case we need them. Let's take a look over here and see if we've come into first contact with the enemy. We will soon, guys. We certainly will soon. Our general is approaching an enemy position over here, and I think it's probably time to go ahead and let these guys work things out on their own. Essentially pull the general off the men and have the men take position on their own here. So we're going to go ahead. We'll move these guys into position. I hope they can see the enemy. Get this guy in this position. Try to flank the enemy a little bit. Maybe we'll get this guy to turn this way and hit the enemy from the side as well. Another flanking shot. There we go. And I want to make sure that we actually have eyes on the enemy. It doesn't look like any of our guys do have eyes on the enemy, so we want to go ahead and keep moving up. And they may very well be going in this building. That's probably what I would do if I were them, to try and get as much defensive power as possible. Let's take a look. Alright, I like where those cannons are. A lot closer to the enemy and probably a lot more likely to do some serious damage. Let's go ahead and grab this general. And I want to actually move our guys farther up. So I'm going to go ahead and move him here. And as you can see, the rest of the men will respond. Let's get a nice look here at the Grand Armée and the way that they move. Absolutely awesome part of the game. Just the way that these guys look, first of all, and the way that they start marching into battle. Absolute precision, of course. And they're at a fast-paced march, of course. They could slow down a little bit, but we don't really need them to. They'll be just fine, I hope. Let's take a look over there. Alright, the rest of our army is moving, and in fact, I think it's probably safe to go ahead and grab some more of these cannons and move them where we want them. So I'm actually going to take these cannons, move them over here. I hope the enemy doesn't have anybody waiting for us, but we can deal with just about anything if we need to, of course. Alright, there we go. I want to leave our cannons there. They're already taking fire, and I do hope that the cannons can open fire on that building, and I do believe that's exactly what they're doing. So let's move the rest of this infantry up. Considering they don't have any troops. Keep moving. Come on, boys. And right now, the first shots of the battle have been artillery shots, without a doubt. But we're going to see if we can be the first to fire on the enemy troops here and take this location. Alright, let's take a look here. A lot of fire going on, but as of yet, no real line fire or line infantry combat. That's going to come later in the game. Or later in this battle, more precisely. Come on, boys. Brigade Chalet, come on, we can do this. We're going to go ahead and actually move up a little faster. I don't like to fast run in this game, and I don't recommend anyone does it. But I'm so desperate to get there and fight the enemy that I'm actually going to fast run a bit. So here we go. And look at that. Our cannons have already taken some hits, but they are firing at the building, without a doubt. They want to break into that building as bad as our infantry do. And there we go. That's actually close enough. We can halt our guys. We can tell because we see the little target marker on top of the men. Excuse me, guys. And they're going to start opening fire there on the enemy troops. Now, they do have some pretty good cover, I won't lie. And that's going to make it a lot harder for us to get a victory here. But once we break them from this location, we're going to have that location all to ourselves. And we can continue moving forward with the rest of our army anyway. As you can see, a lot of these guys have taken cover. We want to just keep moving up. So I want to see who does this general control? Alright, you can move up a little farther, General. And there we go. Tall order for our men, but I think they can handle it. And let's try to grab another general here. And once again, we're going to move up a lot closer to the enemy lines. Beautiful. We'll keep moving the rest of these brigades in there. We've got this infantry brigade all the way back here that we could probably move up to, so let's grab him. And like I said, guys, we are going to win this battle. No matter what we have to do, we're going to take those heights and win the Battle of Waterloo. But it's not gonna be easy. All right, there we go. Everybody is on the way to battle. Let's take a quick look over here and see what's going on. So our men are definitely taking position, opening fire, of course, trying to dislodge the British troops from this location. And they've already taken some hits, which is to be expected. The enemy can fire out of all of these portholes. They've got better cover, and it's going to take a while probably before we break this location. It also looks like they've got 3 units there, and even our cannons are struggling to blow those guys out of the water. Let's take a look at the rest of our cannons. I think we could probably move them up a little bit more. Let's put them over here. So we'll go ahead. Ooh, wrong general for the cannon, sorry. Maybe we have to start moving things manually. There we are. And that's pretty good. I want to have the cannons in this location. They're going to get some cover. However, the enemy can do some flanking shots from this area, so we really do need to break that area down soon. And I just want to make sure we've got more infantry coming up. I don't want these guys stuck on the field alone. And, of course, they're not going to be completely alone, but I really want them to have a tremendous amount of reinforcements if they need them. What about even closer? Let's do that. Beautiful. So hopefully we can get a flanking attack there on the enemy on that right side. Again, a little bit of wishful thinking, but wishful thinking never hurt anybody, I hope. Don't quote me on that. Let's go ahead and move forward here. And of course, this is the first time I've ever commanded Corps, guys. Corps is a huge detachment, obviously. As you can see, we are commanding just a huge amount of men, a ton of different divisions, and this is really quite interesting. This is where the game gets really cool. And I know a lot of you guys were asking me to play on basically with more men, and I'm more than happy to oblige. So we're already going to start moving troops forward. And we've already got some enemy troops there on the ground. I don't know if you guys see those guys, but they are hanging out on the ground there, taking cover from all of our shell shot. And who could blame them? Poor guys. Let's go ahead. Our first men are approaching the battlefield. We're going to grab some men over here, the 105th Ligne de Bataillon, and we will move them up as well. And as soon as we get one of these units in our sights, we can start shooting. We don't want to take any chances at all. So let's go ahead. There we go. We've already got one unit pretty close to us, and actually I'm going to halt. I think we can probably start opening fire on them, and in fact, the guys are going to pull back a little bit to fight these guys, and there we go. Agrippa just dropped some food on the floor. That's a wonderful thing. I'll have to pick that up after the battle. Let's take a look back here. We've still got some artillery moving up, and it looks like these troops are still struggling to break through that area. I'm actually going to take one of them and move them up to the main line here to try and face the enemy. So let's grab this guy. That guy's already going where we want him. Let's grab this guy and put him maybe over here, so that we are prepared to fight the enemy, of course. I think this should be close enough. Let's go ahead and halt. And actually, they're sending out a lot of skirmishers in this battle, which is a really good tactic and a really good technique. And they're basically trying to draw us closer, but also they're trying to have us fire at a unit that's not nearly as important as their main infantry here. So I want to stop this general. I don't want him to go that far out. That's just begging to get shot, and we can have these guys begin firing on the enemy lines. Awesome. These guys are already shooting and getting pretty good shots, might I say. Let's grab these men here. We're going to move them up. I'm almost tempted to run with them because we could get such a great position here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and be calm and collected if I can. So let's go ahead. Come on, boys. Look at that. We are finally in a fight, and indeed, one of our units is flanking that enemy unit there. We want to probably bring this other infantry unit to flank this enemy here, although they can fire at from this location. So we're going to stop here and commence the firing. I also want to make sure that this general is behind the men so that he doesn't get shot off his horse. That's the last thing we need, is to get a general wounded. Let's go ahead and move up. Come on, boys. Let's see how we're doing on the enemy troops. It looks like they even have some Highlanders here to assist in their defense. And that's amazing. Such cowards that they need Highlanders to defend them. And of course, there we go. One of the Highlanders down. Our guys are getting some great shots. We've got a general here. Who is this? Camp Baron Nicholas Schmitz. Sounds German. I'm guessing he might be. He's actually doing a great job here commanding the French. So let's take a look. Our men are re-aiming their shots, trying to aim at a bigger unit, I suppose. And that's probably not a bad idea at all. Let's make sure that these guys are shooting too. Or they soon will be, at least. Come on, boys. And we're already dealing with these guys on the left flank. What's this? Why is there a French flag behind them? I guess our men are trying to get behind these units. Not something that I would necessarily recommend. Let's bring these guys in as well. They're going to be our reinforcements for this battle. We're going to actually put them behind this unit here, so that when this unit breaks, we can actually move forward. Right now, it seems to be the unit that's doing not very well in this battle. Is that unit right there on our far left. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are prepared to fight the rest of these guys. There we go. I mean, we have got this unit, these two units in the center, absolutely cornered. We're blasting away at them. All these musket shots, or rifle shots, I should say, rifle muskets more particularly, we should be able to break the line. At least I hope so. In fact, I'm even tempted to charge it with this unit and see what happens. So I actually think I'm going to try that. Here we go. Charge. I'm not sure this is a smart idea, but desperate times call for desperate measures. And if we could break these guys right now, that would be amazing. It looks like the British troops, the actual Grenadiers, the Highlanders, are taking off. And we are going to go ahead and charge into this infantry unit. Beautiful. We got some kills there. This is the Netherlands Brigade. So these are actually Dutch fighters fighting the French here. And look at that. That's some nasty combat. It looks like their commander is pulling back a bit, but is he retreating? I don't know. He may just be rallying his men. Come on, boys. I don't like that Marshal Comte Pierre Allard is getting so close. I respect him for it, but I think he should move back a little bit, so that's what we're going to do. And as for these guys, we want to make sure that we're firing at the enemy. Hold here and start shooting again. And there we go. We managed to make the enemy retreat. A glorious victory there by the 25M de Ligne. And they actually are going to be able to now turn towards the enemy ahead of us and start firing from here. So yet another location we can shoot from and probably get some really good kills. It looks like our men are also aiming at an enemy general. So here's hoping that we can manage to get an enemy general kill. But in the meantime, we just want to focus on the main battlefield and make sure that we're not going to be overrun at any point. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Made this one a little bit longer than usual, of course. and I hope you want to see more. Now, over here, I want to probably move these guys a little closer soon, but right now I'm not going to worry about it. However, if you guys have any suggestions as to what you want to do, what you want to see in this battle, let me know in the comments down below, and we will see if we can make it happen. Thanks so much, guys. Take care, and vive la France!